The answer is 0. Okay. So let's look at the next topic, sketching of graph, a linear graph. In order to sketch a straight line, linear graph or straight line, what we need to do is to have 2 points, 2 coordinates. So step 1, we need to find the x and y intercept. Okay. Step 2, we draw a line that passes through these 2 intercepts or 2 coordinates. Okay. So example 3. We are asked to draw the following straight line. Let's say a equals y equals 2x minus 1. So first step is to find the intercept of y axis. That means we will substitute x equals to 0. Remember, intercept of y axis, the condition is x equals to 0. And when x equals to 0, substitute into this linear equation, we will have y equals to 0 minus 1. So the answer is negative 1. Then we find the intercept of x-axis. The condition is y equals to 0. So when y is equals to 0, then substitute into this equation. We have 0 equals to 2x minus 1. So shift the 2x to the left. We have negative 2x equals to negative 1, or 2x equals to 1. Therefore x equals to 1 over 2. So next step is to mark the 2 intercepts. We have interception on the x-axis, which is equals to negative, y-axis interception is negative 1, and then the x-intercept is positive half here. So what we need to do next is to draw a line that passes through these 2 points. Okay. Okay, example B. We are given y equals to negative 4x. So same thing, we find the intercept of y, x equals to 0. Substitute into this equation. We will get when x equals 0, y will be 0. Next, of course, we cannot take intercept of x, because intercept of x means y equals 0. So we already found just now, when x equals 0, y is 0. So therefore, we need to find another coordinate. Let's say x equals to 1. So when we substitute x equals to 1 into this equation, so negative 4 times 1 will give us negative 4. So we mark the 2 points now. X0, Y0 is here. Okay. And then when x equals to 1, y equals to negative 4. So 1, y negative 4. So this is the point. So we draw a line that passes through these 2 points. Okay. Okay, example C. If we are given 2y plus 3x equals to 6. So find the intercept of y, substitute x equals to 0 into this equation. So we will have 2y plus 0 equals to 6. Then 2y equals 6, y equals to 3. Okay. Next we find the intercept of x-axis. Right, substitute y with 0. So into this equation we have 0 plus 3x equals to 6. Alright, so therefore 3x equals to 6, x equals to 2. So mark the 2 points. When x equals 0, y equals to 3 is over here. And then when y equals 0, x equals to 2 over here. So draw a line that passes through these 2 points. Okay. Okay, next topic is on parallel and perpendicular lines. So let's say if M1 represent the gradient of the first line, and M2 represent the gradient of the second line. Alright? So when M1 is equals to M2, that means if the gradient of the first line equals to the gradient of the second line, then we can say the 2 lines are parallel. Okay? But if M1 times M2 give us negative 1, then the 2 lines are said to be perpendicular to each other. Alright? Let's look at example 4 here. We are asked to determine whether the line 2y minus 3x plus 6 equals 0 parallel to 4y equals 6x plus 3. Remember, if parallel, we have to find out whether the gradient are the same. So if the 2 gradients are same, then we can say they are parallel. Okay, so first we find the gradient of the first line. Remember, in order to find the gradient, we have to convert this equation into y equals to mx plus c. So we should get y equals to 3 over 2 x minus 3 for this line. So next, So from here, we compare with y equals to mx plus c, then m is equals to 3 over 2. That means the gradient of the first line is 3 over 2. So the same goes for the second line. We're given 4y equals 6x plus 3. Change this into y equals to mx plus c. Therefore, we will have m2. The gradient of the second line is 3 over 2. Alright, so we have found just now the gradient of the first line is 3 over 2 and the gradient of the second line is also 3 over 2. So since m1 equals to m2, then we can say the two lines are parallel. Okay, look at example 5 now. Find the equation of a line that passes through negative 2, 10 and also parallel to this equation. Okay, so what we need to do is to first find the equation of the gradient of this line. So we are given 5x minus y equals 0. Rearrange, we should get y equals to 5x. So when we compare with y equals to mx plus c, then we can say the gradient is equals to 5. So since we have the gradient and also given the coordinate of the point, then the equation of this straight line, we have to use the formula y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. Okay, so substitute y1 with this coordinate y, which is 10, and then substitute x1 with negative 2, and the gradient substitute with 5. So we should have y minus 10 equals to 5 bracket x plus 2. Now expand this bracket. 5 times x will give us 5x. 5 plus 2 is 10. Shift the negative 10 over the other side. We have 10 plus 10 will give us 20. So therefore the equation of the line is y equals to 5x plus 20. Alright.